Japan in the early 2000s was a society holding its breath. A prolonged economic recession had wiped out lifetime employment guarantees, leaving millions of citizens searching for a definitive voice to tell them what came next. Into that void stepped Kazuko Hosoki. Wearing extravagant kimonos worth tens of millions of yen, she dominated primetime television by delivering terrifying predictions directly to A-list celebrities, telling them they were dropping straight to hell. The results were staggering. She secured Guinness World Records for her publishing volume and sold over 100 million books, becoming the woman a generation of Japanese viewers turned to for spiritual direction. But beneath the spiritual guidance was a history rooted in the underworld. Hosoki maintained active ties to the Yakuza, orchestrated debt extortion schemes, and spent her early 20s managing high-stakes nightclubs in the Ginza district. Her rise from a mob-connected hustler to a national icon wasn't a matter of divine luck. It was the result of 3 specific psychological levers pulled with cold, professional precision. The first lever was forged in the post-war ruins of Shibuya. By age 13, Hosoki was working these streets as a hustler, learning to navigate an environment where survival depended on reading the room. Surviving this world required a specialized skill, the ability to identify human desperation and determine exactly what someone would pay to see it resolved. By her 20s, she had ascended to the rank of a Ginza club mama. Here, she refined her ability to influence a different demographic, wealthy, powerful men who were often remarkably vulnerable in private. The strategy she perfected is a mechanism of fear and relief. It begins with a shock diagnosis designed to trigger a sharp anxiety spike. Once panicked, you offer a path to salvation. A terrifying prediction, followed by a specific solution, creates psychological dependency. Hosoki realized that fear isn't a deterrent. When paired with a solution, it becomes the fastest way to bypass rational thought and manufacture unshakable loyalty. Fear alone wasn't enough to capture a nation. Hosoki also needed the weight of institutional credibility. She leveraged authority bias, the tendency to trust instructions from perceived experts without questioning the content. She found her first major anchor in Chiyoko Shimakura, a legendary singer and a national icon. Shimakura was crushed by 1.6 billion yen in debt. Hosoki stepped in as her guarantor, using her Yakuza ties to secure the debt and in the process seize control over the star's career and earnings. With entertainment leverage secured, she targeted intellectual prestige. She attempted to marry Masahiro Yasuoka, a revered philosopher who had served as a spiritual and political advisor to several Japanese prime ministers. While Yasuoka's family eventually had the marriage legally invalidated, the attempt succeeded in its primary goal. It permanently linked Hosoki's name to his political and intellectual status in the public record. By forcibly connecting herself to a beloved star and a respected scholar, Hosoki skipped the process of earning trust and instead purchased immediate mainstream status. To scale this influence across the country, she needed a product that felt scientific. She introduced Rokusei Senjutsu, or 6-star astrology, a proprietary divination system. This system relied on the Barnum effect. This phenomenon occurs when individuals believe universally applicable personality traits are unique to them. 6-star astrology operated in this overlap. Hosoki provided fortunes feeling deeply personal to private lives, yet generic enough to apply to millions at once. It was a business model designed for constant consumption. By dividing her predictions into daily, monthly, and yearly cycles, she ensured her followers had to return to her books every time the calendar turned. Her aggressive television appearances served as a massive marketing funnel. She used the airtime to perform high-drama readings that functioned as advertisements for her latest publications. Hosoki didn't just tell fortunes. She built a media ecosystem where her presence on screen directly monetized the collective anxiety of the public. By the 2010s, stricter media compliance rules and a public weary of her aggressive style made Hosoki a liability. Her underworld connections became too visible for modern television to ignore. She withdrew from public life and passed away in 2021. Today, her empire is managed by her adopted daughter Kaori, who has moved the brand away from confrontation toward a softer, more corporate image. But the fascination with Hosoki's methods remains. Her life served as the foundation for the Netflix dramatization Straight to Hell, which explored the mechanics of her influence. Her career leaves us with a question. Was Kazuko Hosoki an isolated case, or a mirror reflecting our own need for someone to take control when things become uncertain? Hosoki's empire suggests a difficult truth. In times of crisis, people do not search for nuance. They look for a definitive voice, and they will follow it even if that voice threatens them with hell.